Hello everyone. Welcome to Zhai Shanying's channel. I'm your host Zhai Shanying. Here let's dive into some discussions about the Chinese Communist Party. Are you ready? Let's get started. Today I'll be diving deep into China's current socio-political and economic landscape while exploring why logical thinking is crucial for understanding the world around us. Let's get started. The Foreign Ministry Incident. To kick things off, I shared a striking example from a recent press conference by Mao Ning, the spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A journalist questioned why the Chinese government changed the translation of U.S. Secretary of State Rubio's name, hinting at whether this was a sign of lifting sanctions. Mao Ning's response: passive, unprofessional, and lacking a direct answer. It was a clear display of poor crisis management on an international stage. China's real estate crisis. Let's talk about real estate, a cornerstone of China's economy for the past 40 years. Unfortunately, this industry is now on the brink of collapse. Here are some shocking truths. The net debt of China's real estate sector has skyrocketed to a staggering 150 trillion yuan, more than the country's entire GDP for a year. Major companies like Evergrande and Vanke are on the verge of bankruptcy. Despite deploying countless policies to stabilize the market, the government has been unable to reverse this downward spiral. Real estate has been the engine of China's economic growth since the reforms, but its downfall will have ripple effects across all sectors of the economy. The importance of logic in society. Now let me stress something critical: logic. Globally, logic ranks just behind mathematics as a core subject for developing independent thinking skills. Yet, in China, the proportion of universities offering logic as a major is shockingly low, only 0.16%. Why? Because the Chinese Communist Party suppresses logic education to maintain ideological control. I also pointed out that dialectical materialism, often promoted as a tool for understanding the world, is more of a sophistry technique than a genuine pursuit of truth. Logic, by contrast, seeks to uncover the essence of things. Language manipulation and social control. I touched on Wittgenstein's experiments to illustrate how language shapes thought. By changing terminology, like rebranding unemployment as re-employment preparation period, governments can manipulate public perception. Those lacking logical thinking skills are particularly susceptible to such linguistic tricks. The CCP frequently uses ambiguous, soft language to downplay societal issues and maintain control. Criticism of the Chinese political system. I didn't hold back in criticizing the CCP's governance model. I described it as a rogue party that relies on propaganda and deceit to sustain its rule. The education system deliberately avoids cultivating independent thinkers, aiming instead to produce obedient followers. Economic and social issues. I analyzed several pressing problems in China today: the continuous devaluation of the yuan, euphemistic rebranding of unemployment statistics, the limitations on AI development due to a lack of advanced chips, growing public distrust in the CCP. A call to action. In conclusion, I urged everyone to study logic and develop critical thinking skills. This, I believe, is the key to breaking free from ideological constraints. By spreading logical thinking widely, we can help people see through the facade of propaganda and prepare for future transformations. Final thoughts. This live stream was a candid, no-holds-barred critique of China's current socio-political climate. I hope it inspires you to think critically about the world and take steps toward a more informed and independent perspective. Speculative and herd mentality. Instead of focusing on long-term growth, most retail investors aim for quick returns, often following market trends without independent analysis. Section 3. The Financial Ecosystem of Exploitation 3.1. How a Manufactured Bull Market Works. China's stock market booms are often artificially created through government interventions. These cycles are part of a complex financial ecosystem designed to redistribute wealth. Draining household savings. With over 140 trillion yuan in household savings, much of this capital is funneled into the stock market, becoming a key source of profit for institutional investors. Institutional profits. Whether the market rises or falls, institutions use high-frequency trading and derivatives to secure consistent profits, while retail investors are left to absorb the losses. 3.2 Risk transfer and policy battles. During periods of market volatility, risks are systematically transferred from institutions to retail investors. Institutions offload their holdings at market peaks, leaving retail investors to bear the brunt of the downturns. From markets to society, as retail investors suffer significant losses, consumer confidence declines, leading to broader economic instability that requires further government intervention. Section 4. Why do retail investors keep falling for it? Despite repeated losses, retail investors continue to flood into the stock market. Why is that? 4.1 Limited investment options. With real estate stagnating and foreign investments tightly controlled, retail investors have few alternatives. For many, the stock market feels like the only viable option for growing their wealth. 4.2 The sunk cost fallacy. Many investors, after experiencing losses, refuse to exit the market. Instead, they double down, hoping to recover their losses. This emotional attachment often exacerbates their financial difficulties. Section 5. Future trends and how to navigate them. 5.1 Expect more sawtooth cycles. The sawtooth-like fluctuations in China's stock market are unlikely to end soon. As long as government policies rely on short-term stimulus measures, retail investors will remain vulnerable to these cycles. 5.2 Rebuilding trust in the market. To restore confidence, the government must focus on transparency, stricter regulations, and protecting retail investors. However, whether these efforts can truly rebuild trust remains to be seen. Conclusion. Finding a way out for retail investors. China's stock market issues go beyond economics. They're a reflection of deeper societal and systemic challenges. For retail investors, the key is to improve financial literacy, avoid herd behavior, and develop a long-term investment mindset. All right, that's all for today's content. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave a comment below, and let's discuss together. This is Zhai Shanying's channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.